And welcome back, everybody. Tom Hart sitting in for Paul Finebaum on the Paul Finebaum Show. We're talking Missouri football now. Kelly Bryant is the new quarterback. Remains to be seen who the number 2 is, but let's focus on Bryant and their head coach, Barry Odom, right now. He joins us on the line from Columbia. Coach, how are you today?
Good, Tommy. What's up, man? Hope you guys are doing great.
We're great. Thank you for joining us. I know it's a grind of the preseason right now. How do you keep things fresh for you and your team?
Isn't it awesome? I wish we could stay in camp, but unfortunately we got to go to school at some point, and that starts on Monday for us. But the way that we've laid out the calendar, we're going to go 4 really good days in a row, and then we take, in the calendar week now you take a day that you're not on the field, no physical activity, and you can use a couple hours of that in meeting time. So it really has worked for this team, and I think every year the makeup of what your maturity level is, the experience you've got coming back, and then the number of reps that you want to get in fall camp, that changes a little bit. But this team has handled it well. I think for the most part we're as healthy as we're probably going to be in the entire season right now, which is awesome. And our guys have, every day that we've gone out on the field, they've understood what we're trying to get accomplished, and they've gone to work. So I'm proud of that. I think that we've got an opportunity with the experience coming back, that those guys right now are performing at a level higher than they did at any point last year, and that's kind of being our charge as a coaching staff this offseason, to make sure that we get that.
What kind of impact has Kelly Bryant had in the locker room, and speaking of, during the offseason when you're not allowed to be around the team a ton?
I think it helps the experience factor that he brings to the program, especially at that position. There's the quarterback position is as important, if not the most important position in all of sport. And if you've got a quarterback that is trained and can execute and is a leader, and all the things that Kelly brings to our organization, then we've got an opportunity and to play really well. Now the challenge is to make sure that he understands the terminology, the timing, the fit, and all the different things that go along with it. But we need 10 guys around him to play really well along with that. But you look at the way that he has stepped into the locker room, at that position in January, and he didn't really know anybody. He had to learn a new language in our terminology, and this the way we did and do things, and really adjusted well. But it's a credit to him, number one, because he's a very selfless person, but also to the culture of our team and who we are. And they have welcomed him with open arms, and it's been a great fit.
I know coming out of Ada, Oklahoma, you fancied yourself a Big 12 running back, but it really didn't work out like that. You ended up moving to the other side of the ball and playing linebacker. Since then, and before you took over as a head coach, most of your work was done on the defensive side of the ball. I think that goes without saying in many ways. So how does a defensive-minded coach how do you relate so well to the quarterbacks that you've gotten to come to Missouri, stay at Missouri, transfer into Missouri, from Drew Lock to Kelly Bryant to Sean Robinson coming in from TCU next year? How do you relate to those guys?
Well, I think, number one, it speaks to the character and the staff that we have in place. And Derek Dooley on the offensive side is the coordinator and coaches the quarterback specifically, and then also the way that we've structured that position. Once we get a guy that's signed with us, then we start immediately on what we call the Mizzou quarterback school, and we go through the details of what it takes, preparation, what it takes from the mental approach, also the things that we're looking for, the physical attributes that we're relying on to function as an offense. And I think you get kids more than anything, and whether it's a grad transfer, a high school guy that comes on his recruiting trip, they want to be in that system. And the greatest recruiter that we have right now is our team. And you got guys that come in and have an idea on what Mizzou is, but once they get here, the things that we've talked about on recruiting calls and phone conversations and with the high school coach or the mom or whoever it is, those things align, and they're able to see it through their own eyes. And again, I'm going to go back to the culture of what our program is and the leadership we have in the locker room. They are our greatest recruiters that we've got here at Mizzou.
And the retention rate has been fantastic. And Missouri is one of the few schools in the SEC that hasn't been rated by the transfer portal. And Barry, that's even more impressive to me, given the fact that as we speak currently, the team right now is on a bowl ban for this upcoming season. The appeal is still waiting to be judged on from the NCAA, and who knows, that should come within the next few weeks, I assume. I'm just going to ask you point blank, is there anything new on that as of right now?
I wish I could speak on that. I knew more about it, but yeah. I know that the opportunity that we had, over the summer, and presenting and back and forth, and I think Mizzou from day one has taken a very aggressive but respectful approach. I admire the way that our administration and all those aligned have worked through this, and I would love to get a resolution sooner than later. I don't know when that's going to be, but for us as a program, we look at it as an opportunity. It's galvanized us a little bit more, most definitely our fan base, but also you look at, for me, to be able to use it as a teaching lesson about how life works and about the opportunity, whatever the word is that we get back. It has zero effect on how we prepare right now, has zero effect on the habits that are going to put us in position to play our best. And any time really spent worrying or thinking about the what ifs, then you're going to lose out on the opportunity to continue to build relationships within our team, to work the way that you need to be your best on week one, and then moving forward from there. And whenever we get the word, that'll just be another thing that we work through, whether it's great news or the news we didn't want to receive. That's just more information. And I've been very transparent, very open and honest with my team. And when you build close, really true relationships, you're able to do that, and that's what we got.
We're so glad you're watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports and analysis, download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, make sure you subscribe to ESPN Plus. We'll see you there.